Welcome back to the Express at the Richmond Oval. Volleyball, badminton, basketball, hockey. You can find all of that here. But what about beer, bratwurst, yodeling, and polkas? That's right, it's that time of year again when you can head to the Vancouver Alpine Club to celebrate Oktoberfest.
Hold on to your lederhosen. Oktoberfest is one German culture lesson that requires a commitment to costume, cuisine, and accordions.
What's not to love? You got schnitzel, you've got beer, you've got music, you've got men in leather shorts.
Robbie, this is your very first Oktoberfest?
You bet. Oh, it's a good time. Having some good German eats and a good dance, and that's that.
A German lesson is a must, because before they drink beer, Germans sing. What do Germans say before they drink a beer?
They usually say Prost. We usually sell around 1,200 beers on a big night.
The food was wunderbar.
We're selling schnitzels, we're selling bratwurst, and we're selling sauerkraut and buns.
And what do you think it is that Canadians love about Oktoberfest?
Well, I think it's something different. In this environment, everybody is a little bit more happier. There's a lot of audience involvement.
The Canadians here are really catching on, but there are also lots of Germans and Austrians here. You have an Austrian mom?
Yes, I do.
So Oktoberfest is in your blood?
Sort of, yes.
What have you been doing so far tonight?
Food, drinking, dancing.
It's just cheesy European goodness. Everyone's having fun, but everyone is polka-ing. When's the last time you polka'd in Vancouver? What's the number one thing that you need to bring to an Oktoberfest?
In German, they would say, bring deine gute Laune. In other words, bring a good mood.
No problem there. The Vancouver Alpine Club is running Oktoberfest until October 9th. Bring your dancing shoes. Lederhosen are optional. I'm Bianca Salterbeck in East Vancouver for The Express.
A recent poll of the top international Oktoberfest named Kitchener, Ontario #1 outside of Germany. It's also the largest one outside of Germany. I can only imagine the party. And we've got more good eats and good times with our next story. Recently, the Fairmont Hotel put on a spread to over 300 people. And although every single executive chef from each Fairmont hotel in the province was in attendance, not one of them was cooking.
So we have different components. You just need to put together like an artist.
Number one, I love to cook. And if you love to cook, I mean, it's always a good idea to get into something where you have an opportunity for serious advancement.
Jay found that opportunity with Fairmont Hotels. He's a part of their 3-year culinary apprenticeship program.
That's a great shape right there, actually.
So you see where it's going. So we put the first step.
Chef Kamal Silva is one of his mentors.
Coming over?
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
When Jay or anyone came to the program, especially Jay, it's very rough.
Let's go with a little bit of color. Working with Kamal has been an opportunity to sort of really realize that it's more than just the job that you do. It's what you do as a whole.
Today he's in a real world, then he has to really do it. And you can do all the practices behind the scenes, but today he has to deliver.
Today, the apprentices have a big task at hand.
Dinner for 300, 6 courses, 6 different hotels represented all across the Pacific Northwest here for Fairmont.
Marcus Rootbar.
Is he coming back?
You remember him?
Yeah.
He's a chef de cuisine in Beijing, Fairmont.
Hotel Vancouver chef Robert Lecrome is the man who started this program.
Not only we have all those stations, but we have the volume. So we throw them to the wolf. And after 1 year, if they'll be able to swim or thing. But this is really the payback. When you just have to look at those kids, just look at their face, their smile, and then, like I say, it's their show.
Jay is responsible for putting together the dessert course under Chef Silva's watchful eye.
What do you think?
That's actually pretty good. Just like that, we get the 2 colors contrasting, and you have red, green, red.
Perfect. Heat on 360 degrees. When you come to the hotel and when you're working there, then your priority is different.
If you're going to get involved in something like this, then you have to be prepared to commit yourself. It's not just like a job, really. It's sort of a way of life.
Good job.
Thank you, Chef.
Excellent. Good job.
We're just going to try to do our absolute best and make the chef proud and show them that we don't need them because they're all going to be up front.
In Vancouver, I'm Melanie Pineda for The Express.
One of the things that made that 7th annual apprenticeship dinner so special, it will be the last one with Chef Robert Lacroix as the executive chef at the Hotel Vancouver, because he's retiring after over 30 years, and we wish him all the best. You're watching The Express, and we're going to look at how the past influences the future coming up.
After the break,
often like the very worst looking thing soon becomes the very best, newest thing.
West Coast style goes vintage. Vancouver's breakdancing revival.
It's a community, kind of, and you have so many different kinds of dancers.
The Express, we are your local voice.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
hairstyling and color services for Shaw TV, provided by the Lounge Hair Studio, loungehairstudio.com.
Welcome back to The Express at the Richmond Olympic Oval. They have all kinds of athletic programs here and lots of dance-inspired workouts. I teach dancers booty camp here on Saturdays. They have a stiletto workout and more. But if you really want to get your heart rate up and build upper torso strength, then breakdancing is the way to go. And as you'll see with this next story, it's come a long way since the days of parachute pants.
Robson Arena is probably not the first place you would think to find dozens of different dancers, but while most Vancouverites are stepping around puddles, these people are working on steps of their own.
Robson Square is like, it's a community, kind of, and you have so many different kinds of dancers. You have, you know, breaking, you have hip-hop, you have locking, popping, whacking. It's a great place.
Reese says although people come from different backgrounds, they all share one thing.
Everyone kind of has their own separate lives, but one thing that we all have in common is, of course, our passion for dance. And so we all come together and try and move forward with that.
Christian Pardo has been breakdancing for over 10 years, and when he's not helping with his family's business, he's working on his moves, and he knows that hard work pays off.
It feels really good, especially like this kind of dance. Like it's kind of like something like ballet or something like that, because you train it so many times and you make so many mistakes. But then when you finally get it, it's just like, you know, 5-6 months or whatever. It kind of feels like it was worth it.
Here at Robson Square, your age or skill level doesn't matter. It's all about having a good time. Some of the guys who practice here battle competitively and some just for fun, but no matter what kind of battle you're in, there's always one golden rule.
If you touch, you're kind of, I guess it kind of shows you're weak, because dancing, you express with your dance, right? There should be no need for violence, because this is not what it's about. It's about like using your dance moves and what you train for and show how much you're dedicated to it. It's not about violence or anything like that.
Reese will continue dancing and working towards his dream job until it becomes his reality.
I really want to get into Cirque du Soleil. I love performing. Probably my number one thing is I just love performing. So I want to perform as much as possible and just keep elevating.
I'm Peter Verge in Vancouver for The Express.
Breakdancing has grown so much in recent years that many of the pros travel the world to compete and are able to make a living at it. Now up next on The Express, it's our weekly West Coast Style segment with resident fashionista Mana Mansour, who today is giving new meaning to the saying, one person's trash is another person's treasure.
Pacific Center's West Coast Style is brought to you by Pacific Center.
The West Coast is one of the most beautiful places on the planet, and I'm on the hunt to make sure that the people here look just as good as where they live. I'm Mana Mansour, and I'm a lifestyle journalist searching for the most cutting-edge fashion and beauty hotspots, deals, and tips, all in our own backyard. I'll do the shopping so you don't have to. This is West Coast Style. Today on West Coast Style, it's all about Vintage 101. We'll give you the ins and outs and how to shop vintage, along with tips on how it can enhance your wardrobe. Our first stop is downtown's hidden gem, Used Vintage. Used Vintage opened their doors in 2003 and offer customers an eclectic mix of famous brands to completely off-the-wall pieces. What are things to keep in mind when shopping for vintage?
You know, everything's pretty well one of a kind. You know, you won't find it anywhere else. The stuff from even from the early 90s back, the quality was much better than, say, today. This is a Chanel bustier from the early 80s. It's like a very iconic garment.
That's awesome, and I love the full leather getup. It's very Lady Gaga. Where has been one of the most craziest places you've found something?
Well, you know, I've often just bought stuff off people right off their backs, you know? I see them walking down the street and I offer them money for what they're wearing.
This is an authentic LV suitcase.
Yeah, like 1930s. They're really sought after. People love them. They look fantastic. Fashion's very cyclical, right?
Yes.
Often, like, the very worst looking thing soon becomes the very best, newest thing.
But more vintage variety awaits just outside of downtown. Our next stop was Mintage on Commercial Drive. We're here with Skylar Stock, the owner of Mintage. What would you say is the very first thing you'd like to tell our viewers on how to vintage shop?
Don't overwhelm yourself. Just kind of keep it simple and hone in onto what you see, what you like, and let yourself go. It definitely can be hit and miss, but you know, there's a lot of great hits in here. Try not to be ruled so much by magazines or this and that, but go with what you like. What looks good on you?
How do you source all the different items in your store?
We have buyers, and they're hand selecting piece by piece by piece. You can go 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Here's a 70s dress.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
And you get into the 70s and you get into that, you know, there's a whole range of stuff for both guys and gals. And
this dress alone is playing on a lot of the trends for this season.
Yeah.
We have the lace and the kind of crochet thing that's coming back in. And then one of my favorite eras, the 80s.
The 80s. You know what? There's parts of it that are absolutely spot on today.
So Skylar, we are going to show viewers at home how easy it is to spruce up an outfit with vintage pieces. I've put on my discount shirt that I bought at a discount retailer. We're going to put some vintage items that you've chosen for me to complete the look. Ta-da!
So you've taken it and this plain shirt and it's like pop, pop, pop. And it makes your look unique.
I feel like so much more in style and on trend now than just with my plain shirt.
Fashion is fun. That's really what it's about.
Now for our style tip of the week. To keep your vintage looking in top shape, make sure to store delicate pieces in garment bags and always keep fur and leather in a cool, dry place. I'm Mona Mansour for West Coast Style.
Pacific Center's West Coast Style has been brought to you by Pacific Center.
Both of the shops are open 7 days a week, and they bring in new items every day, which is one of the great things about vintage shopping. It's like a new shop every time. Now, how about something new with the wedding bells? Instead of boudoir photo shoots and therapy sessions, today they're learning how to live La Vida Loca at the Italian Cultural Center.
Carrots Wedding Bells is brought to you by Carrots, online at carrots.com.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Wedding Bells.
I just got engaged.
And I did not. We're on an adventure to plan the big day. I do. Sarah is getting married in a boot.
Aubrey, I'm getting married in Italy, a land known for romance.
And fast cars.
And pasta.
And hot boys.
Bellissima! At the Italian Cultural Center, they know one key to a successful Italian wedding
is tomato sauce.
And my mama's tomato sauce is the best tomato sauce.
No, my mama's tomato
my
sauce
mama's
is the best
tomato sauce.
Oh, and the stereotypes had begun.
Everybody has their own idea about what tomato sauce is, but general thing is you want to do onions, garlic, celery, which is the holy trinity for mirepoix.
Tomato sauce is very important, especially if it's for your daughter's wedding.
Fabio Risotto said one father of the bride's secret.
His secret to the sauce was he added ham hock.
He wanted to add pig's foot.
That's exactly what he wanted. So
I would keep a secret.
Aubrey.
Has there ever been an Italian wedding without tomato sauce?
Never.
Chef Rebecca Johnson told us her secret to crushing tomatoes.
You want to squeeze the tomato, just poke it with your fingers first and then squeeze.
This reminds me of Halloween. Remember,
you go through the haunted house, you stick your hands in different things, you have to guess what kind of food it was.
This is somebody's brains.
Yeah, they're like, this is brains. And you're like, no, it's not, it's tomatoes.
I think it feels really good, like I'm at the spa.
Okay, weirdo.
This is where we do make our tomato sauce, and we actually, all our sauces.
Speaking of weird.
So I've been asking to go into this vat because it can fit me, but Rebecca says it's unhygienic.
So Italian weddings are quite different. Your typical wedding is anywhere from 12 to 16 courses.
At Italian weddings, they'll have to cook for up to 700 people.
Meanwhile, I was cooking for 2. Nice change from my usual cooking for 1.
Buon appetito! Delicioso.
Perfecto.
After Sarah enjoyed our meal, we learned what not to say in Italy.
Pasta comes from Marco Polo when he went to China and found noodles and brought noodles back to Italy. Thanks, China.
You don't say that to an Italian.
And you also don't mention.
I can't help but think about Italy and not think about the mob. Just make sure you don't say that there. That's one of these ones.
Okay. Well, what should we say?
Piacere. Pleasure to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Piacere. Meraviglioso, which means marvelous.
Meraviglioso.
Speriamo che sia un amore sincero.
What does it mean?
I hope it's gonna be a true love.
Ragazzi.
Ragazzi.
That means boys.
Oh, God! Ragazzi!
Aha. Like I said, a land known for hot boys.
Big weddings and true love.
For Shaw TV, we're the Wedding Bells.
Carrots Wedding Bells has been brought to you by Carrots, online at carrots.com.
Bellissimo! We're all about local culture today on The Express, and that's where we're shining today's Express Spotlight. Combine your love of food, wine, and great company while supporting the Arts Club Theatre. Celebrate the annual Vancouver Chinese Cultural Festival and Vancouver's 125th anniversary with the beauty and elegance of ballet. Vancouver's original Greek food festival, now in its 34th consecutive year, celebrates the traditional tastes, sights, and sounds of Greece. And then to work off all that awesome indulgence, you can hit up the Richmond Oval. They've got fall and winter fitness and recreation programs, plus personal training. Now we're going to leave you with a look at the Vancouver International Flamenco Festival that's on now. I'm Johanna Ward. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Cielo y andaba, que no